Because what is love? Love is seeking the best for another person, come what may. Love, as we read about in 1 Corinthians 13, that kind of love is a gritty kind of love, a robust kind of love that can breathe life back into the affections when the affections die down. We need to love each other in a way that meets the other person's emotional needs. Now, how many people here have heard of love languages? Yeah, that's great, and that's a wonderful beginning. The thing that I found is I love the language of love languages. I think that's incredibly helpful. The thing that I find with love languages is that they're so general. And what was really disheartening for me was when I discovered my wife had all 5. That just seemed really tiring. But one of the things that I get couples to do is do a tyre exercise. I'll say to them, what is it that you know that if your spouse was to do this, this would spin your wheels? I mean, as husbands, if your wife was to do this or treat you in this way, you'd go, that's quite nice really, isn't it? I like that. That feels really good. And what is it that you know you do specifically and concretely that when you do that, quite softens your wife, really? She quite likes that. It's lovely. And we also look at what deflates my tyre and what will deflate hers. And when we do this as an exercise, we've got to be very specific. Because if she says, I love it when I feel cherished and loved by him, well, that's great, but what on earth does that look like? He may say, well, I really love it when she validates me and respects me. Great. What on earth does that look like or sound like for you? We've got to get clear and concrete in that. And I'll get couples to put them together, but you see, then what I'll get them to do, which oftentimes they miss, because at this point, all we've got in front of us is a to-do list. And who wants to do another blasted to-do list? You'll probably do it for up to 3 weeks, and then you'll just get bored of it or you'll forget about it. But what I'll get them to ask is this. When I do this for you, that's what you say you need from me, tell me, how does that help you? What does that do inside for you? How do you feel inside? Because if my wife says, you're on the to-do list, I need you to listen to me, give me your undivided, I think, oh, okay, I can do that. But if I asked her why, if she says to me, when you give me your attention and listen to me, I feel like I'm the only woman in the world, and that I feel like I matter and I'm significant, and I've got to tell you, I feel warm towards you. Well, now I want to do that. Doing that, pushing this button in her, does nothing for me. But if it causes that kind of feeling inside of her, I want to do that. That's how I win with her. So when we understand how it helps a person inside, now it turns it from a to-do list into I want to-do list. Do you see that? So my friends, let's monitor the trust level and maintain hope when we realize that the power to change our relationship is also with us. And it's not that we're powerless to them. And let's learn to be centered, to overcome evil with good and not be reactionary, to be reasonable in our communication, and to love the other person in the way that they need their emotional needs to be met.